Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Now, I have been thinking and reflecting on this, amazing time of my life, and as I get older in this last chapter, and thinking about words and kind of concepts that drive me. And I've talked about energy, which I think is one of the things that really has shaped my thinking about how to spend my day. How to manage the changes in my body, the changes in my lifestyle, with what I really continue to want to do. So energy, how to use it, how to shape it, how to choose it, has really been a big thing for me. But the other word that I've really been working on recently is in terms of lifestyle, and that's intentional living. Intention, having intention. So, when you get up in the morning, what are the things that you're going to do that day? How are you going to, define what's important? How are you going to make choices? All those kinds of things. We've been weaving that into lots of conversations the last, few months, and I want to chat specifically though about intentional living and 10 different ways that you can make it come to life in your world. Now, the first thing I think, if you're going to live a life with intention, is to clearly clearly define your core values. What's important to you? How do you align your daily activities with those things that really matter? I mean, if things like truth and honesty and compassion and purpose, but in empathy, if those are your core values, I mean, and we've talked about how that is then interwoven into everything, the actions that you take. It also shapes the foundation for intentional living. So to live with intention, you've got to know what your core values are. So I would ask you, like I'm doing, to spend some time thinking about that, kind of what are the things that drive you, shape you, motivate you. Another thing is to create kind of a next chapter vision, kind of think about what you want to accomplish in the next 20, 30 plus years, what you think is going to be your framework, your framework for this phase of life to look like. What does your body look like? What's your hair going to look like? What's your, kind of create this next chapter. I'm going to, the experiences that I'm going to prioritize, kind of what your life looks like. And some people, I've read of this technique of going like and writing a letter to your future self or from your future self. If you want to be healthy and happy when you're in your 90s or hundreds, here's what you need to think about doing. So that's kind of, creating like a chapter, next chapter. Turn the page, don't look back. Don't read the old chapters. That's really important feedback, is don't go back and necessarily all the time read the old chapters. Now you're creating a chapter for this new intentional lifestyle based on your values. Oh yeah, purposeful goals, not bucket list items. Okay, and it's really funny, whatever I say to people just for fun, what's the city in Europe that you'd like to travel to? And it's like, oh, my bucket list is to go to Paris, Budapest, Berlin, Greece, whatever. And it's like your bucket list. And it's like somehow you're not complete unless you check the bucket list. And it's just having a bucket list is a bit restraining, because sometimes your bucket list may include things that are truly not possible. In the sense of financially or just, geographically or whatever. You just won't be able to probably do it. Like Machu Picchu used to be like a big thing for me, and now I just learned how to walk around it online. And that's kind of maybe sometimes the bucket list has to get redefined. But make purposeful goals. Do you want to travel? Well, then, if that's going to be one of your goals, then how are you going to do that in a way that matches your finances, matches your lifestyle, your physical reality, your health, and so on? And just make those goals purposeful rather than a bucket list of like, I must achieve these things. If your goal is I want to get healthy, if that's going to be your vision for the future, one of your intentional goals, purposeful goals, where do you start? Where do you start? By eating more vegetables and fruits, going back and cooking meals in your home and not buying packaged meals. Folks in UK from Marks and Spencer's, oh, every time I go there to the UK, I go into Marks and Spencer's and I think, how could you possibly live here in the UK? And I'm sure that I know you've got places in the States like Whole Foods, for example, and these Trader Joe's and these amazing places where everything looks so good packaged. Make it at home. Another thing is to prioritize relationships that matter. We've talked about this so many times, and I'm just guided like a crazy person towards the Mel Robbins, erase Mel Gibson, Mel Robbins, about, let them, find purposeful. If people don't want to spend time with you, let them. If they've decided that they want to live their life in a different rhythm, a different goal, different path, let them. Let them. And in letting them, you then start to create relationships that matter. Like prioritize the time that you're going to invest with those people. Those people. And I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Do you like my new mug? I got. It looks huge. It is actually quite big. I'll bring it back a bit relative to my body, but it's a big cup, and I love the fact that it's black. I love the fact that it's shiny, and it holds like a gazillion cups of tea, like 3 regular cups of tea. One sec. It's really good. I got it at the Brocky. It was like $1.20. I love going to the Brocky for. I bought some really cool plates there. I should show you those too. Really, really gorgeous. They were like Wedgwood, from the UK Wedgwood, which has now become a bit like of a consumer product. But it's very kind of vintage, but it's gorgeous, and it's got peacocks on, pheasants, peacocks. Anyway, beautiful birds on this plate. I'll show it to you. Don't have one nearby. Anywho, back to prioritizing relationships. Make sure that you're with the people you want to be with. Curate your time and energy. Say yes and no to the things that you want to do really, really clearly. Yes, I want to go and do that walk, around the lake, around the park, or whatever. And no, I don't want to go and sit in a meeting room and be the helper or whatever. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this thing. Yes versus no. Curate your time. Avoid mindless activities that you don't want to do. You volunteered for something and you really don't want to do it anymore. Say no. Next time they ask, say no. Not now. Not today. Not this time. You may want to go back to it later, but not today. And I think it's just curating your time really, really well so you know what you're doing. Another thing you can do is cultivate a legacy mindset. Okay, now we all get a little bit uncomfortable with this because it means, how do we want to be remembered? And I mean, the thought of you not being here anymore, just like it freaks me out sometimes. It freaks me out all the time when I think of it, but I don't try now to think about it so often. I think for me, and like probably many of you, I lived as an orphan all my life. I didn't have a mom, after 18. And I've just honestly been starting to realize how significant that was for me. And of course I got through it, and I lived through the sadness and all the, the things I missed as I was getting older, and with my children and not having a grandmother for the kids and so on. And of course I missed that. But I deeply, deeply miss her in a way that shaped my whole being. So that's another thing, is having a legacy mindset that is shaped on how you want to be remembered, taking into consideration all the things you've been through. I know that's hard. Another thing is a couple more here to just inspire you. One is to keep learning and growing. Learn, go to the library if you need to get, there's so much online now, but just keep stretching your brain so that you're trying to absorb, the bigger picture. And I know sometimes it's hard when you're focused and drilling down right down what's in front of you and needing to be dealt with, but try to keep learning and growing, okay? Simplifying clutter, we've talked about this a million times, and it's part of this intentional living, though, is having only in the house the things that you want in your home and getting rid of everything else. Do you really need all those clothes? Do you really need all those jars of nail polish, as I'm looking here? Do you really need all that stuff? If not, clear it out. Let it go. It's limiting your beliefs. It's limiting your structure, all the unnecessary stuff. And it's leaving no space for anything else to come in, something new. So clear a space and invite something new, not necessarily a thing, but a time, an activity, or a person, or let there be space for something else in your life. Practice mindfulness, of course. Take some time every day if you can to just meditate, or at least reflect on your breathing. Just take a moment to appreciate with gratitude all the things that you have. And I think the final thing is just play. Have a joyful attitude. Honestly, go out into the world and try to giggle, take the bubbles, I'm looking on my desk. I have a little turtle here. This little turtle. It was one of Max's Lego sets, and he gave it to me, and it was so cute. I thought, well, that's pretty important to me. I think I'll keep that and throw away all the lipsticks and other things that I've collected. But yeah, just have a joyful attitude, blow bubbles, have a giggle with your grandkids or with just anyone. Just take time to watch a comedy, relax, enjoy, and see the playfulness in life, and just don't take yourself all that seriously. I know it's hard. Even as I'm recording these videos, I know what's going on around the world, and it's not easy peasy to be super cheerful given what's going on at all levels. And I'm not just talking about in certain parts in the United States or other parts of the world. We're all going through a technology breakdown, I think, and lots of social media stress and lots of just the growth, the things that we're moving into now with AI and other things. It's all important, and it's hard to have an intentional lifestyle if we let it overwhelm us. So let's just try to simplify, be here for each other. Go hug a friend, hug a neighbor, hug your puppy, hug your dog, your cat, your parrot, your bird, whatever. Just, yeah, be as loving as you can and live as intentional a life as you can. Okay. And please leave your comments below. I mean, are you starting to feel this is a direction for you? Please share with us, because we need you. We need your perspective, and we need your love. And I appreciate you all so, so much. Thanks, guys. Lots of love.